percussionist, Mr. Lou, that's how he goes by. Done a lot of collaborations with some well-known artists, up to the likes of Black Coffee. So we'll be looking forward to chatting in studio with Mr. Lou in today's final hour.
Yeah,
Lots
WhatsApp
to
us.
see.
WhatsApp us on +27 63 406 9126. You can join us in our live studio. As Palesa was saying, lots to see. You can actually see the action and some of our guests that come in studio. Some of us are joining us on that live stream. So you can find it on our Facebook page and also that YouTube. As soon as you get on that YouTube, don't just view the stuff. Also subscribe. Become part of the subscription of Channel Africa. And you can check out all those different podcasts that come up there. But also you can also easily see those live broadcasts as they pop up at Channel Africa 1 on YouTube. Join us there.
A atenção do mundo está em Joanesburgo. Líderes das maiores economias do planeta reúnem-se para tomar decisões que irão moldar o futuro das nações e dos mercados. O Channel África está no centro dos acontecimentos a trazer-lhe as conversas, análises e perspectivas que realmente importam. A cimeira do G20 nos dias 22 e 23 de novembro, sob uma perspectiva africana em tempo real. Acompanhe tudo no Channel África. África. Conhece o Ntivani?
Claro que sou eu.
Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma.
Eu amo música africana.
Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel África.
Ok.
Adivinha só, a Channel África quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel África está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective.
My favorite thing about Fridays on The Move is really delving deeper into the creative space and the creative world of the African continent. I think we are the most creative in the entire world. And the world is definitely starting to recognize that, which, is either here nor there, because whether the world recognizes us or not, we still are who we are when it comes to the arts. And today we're starting with some visual arts. Slovo Mampaga is a contemporary multidisciplinary visual artist, designer, and futurist. His work is known for being experimental, process-led, and deeply influenced by design principles, often exploring themes of identity, resilience, and tension between tradition and modernity through a style of imaginary surrealism. Today we're speaking to him, joining us on our live stream for his upcoming solo exhibition titled In Layers. He invites viewers to look beneath the surface and experience how the artist's inquiry turns material into thought and thought into matter. Slovo joins us on the line. Slovo, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you, Palesa and Benjamin.
Oh, it is a pleasure to chat to you this morning. You've been doing this for quite some time, and every artist has their own reason. And I think before we start, I'd love to find out what your reason is. What is your reason for the art you do?
No, thank you very much, Palesa. So basically, I think from the young age, my mom would always say I started drawing at the age of 3. It's a memory I can't even recall myself, but as I'm growing, I realized that I was gravitated towards the art. I think primarily from primary school, since high school, I've been, in the art scene and actually just creating. And I realized it from that age that this is my strength, and I just, took it further. Then primary school, high school. Then I went to tertiary to further the artistic, studies. Which was a BA in multimedia. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the influence started, from fine art and mixing multimedia. And this is where I'm at now in terms of how I create, Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting because you chose a format that is very complex indeed because it's multi-layered, it's multidisciplinary. Could you help us understand what you are speaking about when you are referring to multimedia?
So basically, obviously, we all know that multimedia is layers of things, but I think it teaches one to think differently because, if you are trained as a visual artist, your only medium is oil paint. So when it comes to multimedia, you actually train or you learn other ways of actually telling stories just outside from traditional mediums like, oil paint or acrylics, Right now, there's, elements of collage, so you're able to mix the, the old school and the modern by digitizing it, And also, it's just also a way of how things are changing towards tradition and also moving into the future in terms of creating, So we are mostly right now in the digital age. And I think my vision is to actually carry the two, both in this transition of creativity, as a medium, and I think that's what multimedia is becoming in my world and also in my everyday life,
So,
not only visual arts, but also like the way we look at reality, because
yeah.
it's different from, both worlds,
Well, I'm interested to find out what is it that interests you about the contrast between tradition and modernity, because sometimes people think that these two spaces live in completely different worlds, and trying to put both on one medium or, on one piece can be quite a challenge.
Definitely. And I think that's where we take something complex and how we then simplify it, through referencing from nature. I'll use that as a traditional, also like a platform, and how we take from nature and define the future without losing nature. Because once we lose where we come from, then the future will be less, organic. So we have to balance the two. So the skin cannot function without the bone. So it's more of the two coexisting, so we can, create a future that has a soul, So I think for me, that's how I always seen, the past and the future, whereby the past symbolizes the tradition, and then the future, symbolizes the possibilities of what we are becoming.
Slovo, we're living in a time where even the concept of multimedia is changing in its definition. We live in a time of social media that is now also bringing in the advent of artificial intelligence, and all these things are becoming things that are contending with a traditional definition of multimedia. How are you navigating the space in such a fast-paced technological environment?
That's a nice question. And I think that's why actually this show is so important. And I think even the title itself, like In Layers, it actually speaks of, because I normally post online, and then people are always triggered or eager to actually see the work live. So in the show, there's a mixture of like digital and tradition and traditional, approach. And I think it always looks differently, outside from a 2D or 3D space. But once it's more 4D in real life, it has a different energy, and it also has a different feeling into it, because you're able to touch it, see it, and actually be there in real time, instead of just looking at it from afar, which is this digital platform, And I think that it also takes us back to the fundamentals of tangible things, because at the end of the day, things cannot be intangible. So things must always remain tangible, so that there's a point of reference in the way we are, transforming, this creative space or this creative language in terms of, platforms,
You say that one of your processes is experimentation, and I love this because it shows that there's a certain curiosity that one would need to try and experiment and do new things. It's also a removal of fear, because a lot of people fear experimenting because you don't know what the outcome is. What is it that you love about the experimental nature of your own processes?
I think it's always magical, because normally you don't. Okay, normally, I see the idea as it is in my mind, but once you take yourself outside from that, traditional space, or you end up creating new creations, because it's something that just happens at that moment. Because now it's that experimental part that leads you to something greater, or something that unlocks something, that needs to be unlocked within the creative, mind, and I think that's an important question because that's where, ultimate creativity is born, by experimenting,
Yeah. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
let's take a break. Stay with us there on the line. Don't go anywhere. We are speaking to artist Slovo Mampaga, who is talking to us about his art journey, but also we'll be finding out more about his solo exhibition that's coming up titled In Layers. It's 20 minutes past 9 Central Africa time.
Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za.
AUSISA, the Association of Water and Sanitation Institution of South Africa, is a platform uniting Africa's water professionals. This November, Africa leads the conversation on water and sanitation. Join global and African leaders at the AUSISA Africa and Global South Dialogue 2025 from the 9th till the 12th of November at the Emperor's Palace, Johannesburg. From policy innovation, this is where action meets collaboration for a water-secure future. Register today at ausisa-watersun-dialogue.org or follow at AUSISA on social media. AUSISA, working together for sustainable water and sanitation security in Africa.
Ready to connect, innovate, and be inspired? It's all happening at Africa Tech Festival, where Africa's technology meets the world. From the 10th to the 13th of November in Cape Town, join global leaders, investors, and innovators driving the future of Africa's digital economy. Don't miss the continent's biggest week in tech. Get your pass now at africatechfestival.com.
Start your day right with Channel Africa Breakfast.
That smells delicious.
Live, 5 days a week.
Hey, you are listening to Channel Africa, and we're starting off this Friday creative conversations with our guest who's a multidisciplinarian in art. We're speaking to Slovo Mampaga, who is not just a person who focuses on visual art, but also a futurist and also a designer. Has an interesting exhibition that's coming out titled In Layers, and it says it's going to actually invite you into an investigation beneath the surface and experience how artists inquire into the material environment and what it means to actually find yourself also looking at the meanings of matter. Slovo, let's speak a little bit about that title, In Layers. What is it all about and what does it mean for you?
So basically, in layers, it actually symbolizes where I'm at and where I started creating. So I'll be actually unleashing and unraveling the processes. From my drawings, from my digital collages, from my handmade stuff. So basically, it's an introspection of me. And just expressing that to the rest of the world. There'll be different styles. So basically, when people enter into the show, they'll actually see my soul because they'll see all the way I work. There'll also be an installation of how I actually work and the tools that I use, So basically the in layers is more like a part of me in a way,
Yeah.
And people experience all these layers as they go through, the exhibition and navigate,
Yeah, it's a big point of vulnerability, isn't it? Because usually when we as the people go and see art, we're seeing the final product. And so we're able to sort of disseminate the final product, but we just imagine what the process is. You bringing us into your process is a nakedness of sorts to say, hey, this is who I am and this is how all of this comes to be. Was that not too vulnerable for you, bringing us into that particular space, a very personal space for you as an artist?
Well, I think that's actually a good question. I think for me, that's what part of the responsibility of an artist to actually open up, because it will teach one to also open up about themselves, when they actually reflect with the work, And I think people have actually been waiting for this show, and I think it's only fair for me to actually just go all out and actually open up, and let people into this world of Slovo and experience it, and I just don't want it to be just, artworks on the wall. I just want people to actually feel it, touch it, and experience it to the fullest, really, Yeah, and I think for me, that's important.
I mean, to explore that vulnerability, what materials are you using to manifest this complexity of who we are in our different layers?
So there'll be all kinds of elements, like the table that I worked from, some of the tools that I use, some of the processes. Maybe like a young artist will come into the show and they'll actually see how I actually, take this thing to the next level, and I think that's what I want to do. I don't just want it to be, oh, Slovo's work. I just want even the young artists that are coming through to actually take from that and actually be inspired and actually go back and actually transform their skills also, because I think it's all about abundance and actually, just multiplying this whole process of, creating. And I think for me, giving back is as important as creating, and I think for me, that's what it signifies,
I love that. And, by the end of the show, what is it that you want the person who attends this particular exhibition to go home with? Because they've seen your processes, they've seen your vulnerability. Do you want us to go back and look at ourselves and our own processes and our own vulnerabilities?
Pretty much, because that opens it's more like a doing word, so, you practice what you preach. So, and you also practice what you do. So I feel like it's more of a practical sort of like an exhibition whereby I just want it to be as honest as it is, and I think I want people to take home the artworks, because they're quite, affordable also, because I'm also trying to break away from this thing whereby, artwork is inaccessible. It's always, connected by elites. I feel like art should be accessible. Art should be as innocent as, the reflection of the person that will connect with the work, and I also want my work to be, be accessible to Black people, because there's this notion that only, those that have, collect the work and, it doesn't end up in the right spaces. It just ends up in the, in the archives. The work must just be out there. And I think, people must buy the work. It's accessible. It's honest. And I think for me, and also just to enjoy the show, really, and
Nice. Fantastic. So when is the exhibition happening? Where can people check it out?
So basically the show is this coming Saturday, the 8th. It's taking place at a place called Lapa. Some know it as Breeze in Britain. And I think that's what will be happening. And that's where the show will be happening. It starts from 1:00 till 8, because there'll be a DJ set.
Oh.
So, and I think, also the part I wanted to actually talk about is the exhibition is actually celebrating South African music and jazz. So that's where it's at. So,
And that's incredible. So there's more disciplines coming into the exhibition itself with, a mix of art and music as well, which is a part of the day. Well, thank you so much. It sounds like it's going to be incredible. Once again, that's tomorrow, is it? On the 8th of November, 29 Chiswick Street in Brixton, Johannesburg, a place also known as Breeze Block. And that's where you'll be able to catch In Layers, a solo exhibition by Slovo Mampaga. Slovo, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys.
It is quite a pleasure. In Layers is the name of this exhibition taking place tomorrow. And thank you so much to Slovo Mampaga for helping us unpack this very vulnerable day and a very vulnerable exhibition that he will be hosting for all of us art lovers.
Boss, I'm not coming to work today. I can't see. No, nothing wrong with my eyes. I just can't see myself coming to work today. Thank you. In other words, I'm not doing one grass soul today. Don't tell me about work, I out on the road today. Me and some pretty beaches, I out on the boat today. I don't care what time of day it is, I'm drinking rum today. Having fun today.
This one is titled Holiday, something that many of us are definitely looking forward to, especially this time of the year. That is Just J King and Problem Child giving us that one. It's 9:30 Central Africa time. Let's get our latest sports news.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good morning from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with your latest sports news at this hour. So, CAF President Patrice Motsepe says adding Morocco to the list of AFCON host nations forms also part of the broader vision to develop the continent's sporting infrastructure. So, building on this vision, all eyes are now on the upcoming edition of Africa's premier football competition that is set to take place from the 21st of December, concluding on the 18th of January across 6 Moroccan cities. So, with the FIFA World Cup to follow next year, Motsepe believes interest in African football will reach unprecedented heights.
For me, as president of CAF, I've got two obligations. Number one is I need the best infrastructure, facilities, stadiums, hotels, hospitals, roads, non-negotiable. The second thing is I have to develop football in every part of the continent. So that's why I'm rotating. Every zone has to have an opportunity to host, because look at what happened in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. So this is part of what I have to do is to contribute to the development and growth and excitement of football in every one of the 54 nations.
Now, Motsepe is also backing Morocco to deliver a tournament worthy of Africa's pride.
Morocco won the competition. You know, there was a tender and there were many, many other countries. But let me also make one confession. You know, I also need money, and I need the money to go into young boys and young girls football development. And I know we made good money in Ivory Coast.
On to some cricket news now. Quinton de Kock marked his return to international cricket with a majestic 22nd ODI century, thus guiding South Africa to a dominant 8-wicket victory over Pakistan in Faisalabad yesterday. Now, de Kock was in vintage form, smashing 8 fours as well as 7 sixes in an unbeaten 123 of 119 balls. This as the Proteas chased down 270 in just 40.1 overs, replying to Pakistan's 269 for 9. Nwandri de Pretorius set the tone with a brisk 46 of 40 balls, while Tony Dozorzi added flair as well as firepower with a rapid 76 of 63 deliveries. That win levels the 3-match series at 1-1, setting up a thriller to be expected on Sunday in that final ODI match. On to some tennis news now. Jessica Pegula all but secured her place in the semi-finals of the season-ending WTA finals with a breezy 6-2, 6-3 win over the already eliminated Yasmin Paolini in the final group stage match yesterday, while the world number 1 Arina Sabalenka defeated Coco Gauff in a rematch of the French Open, also moving into the semi-finals of the end-of-year women's tour. So this is what Jessica had to say after her win, saying she needed to win by straight sets and managing to do that yesterday, 6-2 and 6-3.
Yes, definitely. I like to kind of know ahead of time. I mean, regardless of what's going to happen, you want to go out there and you want to win the match. You're still playing for some points, money. So that was, always at the forefront of my mind. But I definitely knew that I needed to do myself all the favors and win in straights today.
Meanwhile, Lorenzo Musetti posted a 6-2, 6-4 win over Alexander Muller on Thursday to reach the semi-finals of the ATP event in Athens, Greece, and maintain now his hopes of qualifying for the season-ending ATP finals. Now, the tournament's top seed, world number 5 Novak Djokovic, also reached the last four with a 7-6, 6-4 win over Nuno Borges of Portugal. Italian Musetti, ranked 9th in the world, needs to win the tournament to overhaul Felix Auger-Aliassime of Canada and then claim that final place at next week's showpiece in Turin. Whichever qualifies will find himself in a group that has the world number 1 Yannick Sinner, as well as Alexander Zverev and Ben Shelton. Djokovic, meanwhile, claimed his 200th indoor win after a 1 hour 44 minutes on court and will play German qualifier Yannick Hoffmann for a place in the final of this year's tournament. And that's a wrap from the sports desk at this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Give us a call as well. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Listen in on Channel Africa.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thank you, Musibudi. Let's keep moving things on with our latest business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Good morning. The Malawian government has announced an immediate ban on maize exports in response to the country's worsening food crisis. The move, aimed at stabilizing local supply and curbing price hikes, comes as over 4 million people face hunger following prolonged dry spells. Authorities say the measure is also intended to protect the livelihoods of millions who rely on maize as their staple food. Chief economist at the Dawn Consultancy Group, Chifi Mango, gave this analysis.
I think the ban is quite called for in the event that now there's shortage of food in the country. So I think to stabilize the prices of maize in Malawi, obviously the ban comes into effect. So I think there's been a culture of those that are doing maize trading in Malawi, actually holding back in terms of maize on the market, trying to actually push the market, the prices of maize higher. So the government is now taking a reactive approach in the manner whereby now, since they'll be importing maize from countries such as Zambia.
Former South African Public Enterprise Minister Malusi Gigaba has handed himself to the police in Pretoria, and he says he will cooperate fully with the National Prosecuting Authority as in court today. This is in connection with the alleged procurement irregularities at Transnet. Gigaba, who was named during the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, maintains that due process guided his non-executive role in the procurement. Samkele Maseko reports.
The matter does relate to a state-owned company, Transnet, during his time, and the particular links to the Gupta family and what transpired, particularly when it came to the capturing of the state-owned enterprises during that particular period that was being investigated by the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, led by former Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo.
The Chinese Consul General in South Africa, Pan Qingjiang, has praised the growing ties between China and South Africa, describing the relationship as entering a new era of all-round strategic cooperation. Speaking at a seminar titled China's Development, Global Opportunities in Johannesburg, Pan said that under the leadership of Presidents Cyril Ramaphosa and Xi Jinping, the two nations have achieved remarkable progress, deepening mutually beneficial collaboration across various sectors. Channel Africa's reporter Michael Mbewe found this report.
The relationship between South Africa and China has grown into a model of strategic partnership rooted in mutual respect, shared development goals, and strong political trust. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties in 1998, the two countries have steadily deepened cooperation across trade, infrastructure, education, and technology. Under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa and President Xi Jinping, this partnership has evolved into an all-round strategic cooperative relationship in the new era.
The Civil 20 C20 South Africa Working Group on Poverty Alleviation and Food Sustainability says small-scale farmers contribute significantly to the growth and development of economies, and that measures are needed to ensure that arable land is used to benefit the population. The group says it has been consulting with relevant stakeholders to propose policy changes that would support small-scale farmers through initiatives such as increased investment and inclusive market participation. Some of the challenges faced by small-scale farmers are limited access to finance, land and technical support. The group's co-facilitator is Jimmy Gojana.
The issue of poverty and food sustainability are closely linked in addressing one often requires taking the other. So you cannot miss, both, elements. We are of the view that government should create an enabling and conducive environment for building international development cooperation. And we're saying this because sustainable development is key to reducing poverty. So in this instance, we are hoping that, government will play a critical role to support this initiative. But not only that, the private sector, the development agencies, all these bodies.
Japan's economy probably contracted for the first time in 6 quarters in the July-September period after being battered by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Gross domestic product GDP in real terms probably shrank an annualized 2.5% in the third quarter. This according to the median forecast of 18 economists after an annualized 2.2% expansion in the second quarter. Without annualization, the third quarter contraction was estimated at 0.6%. Now, let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,439 naira. In Botswana, 13 pula 33. Kenya, 128 shilling 24. In Zambia, 22 kwacha 29. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 35. In Russia, 81 rubles 29. India, 88 rupees 62. China, 71.12, South Africa 17 rand 37 cents. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,997, platinum at $1,550 per ounce, the price of Brent crude oil at $63.87 a barrel. That's all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chandruko Ligege.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Bazochitika madapiri bazochitika
inogeka zingeni chihana lumbiritsidwa kukhala wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko la Malawi pa mwambo omwe unachitika ku nyumba ya chifumu ya Sanjika mu mzinda wa Blantyre. Ndiye pano tili ndi olemekezeka a chihana. Takulandirani olemekezeka pano pa wireless ya Channel Africa pa Chinyanja Service. Malawi ayembekezere zotani kuchokera kwa inu ngati wachiwiri winanso kwa president wa dzikolo?
Choyamba ngati vice president umagwira ntchito yopatsidwa ndi president imene yakuganizira. Ndiye malowozi athu atipatsa bwinobwino, koma ntchito yathu yayikulu ndi kuwathandiza president kuti masomphenya awo yakwanitsidwe. Pali zambiri zoti zichitike, nkhani ya njala mdziko muno, boma la udakali chimanga ndi china chomwe chili mdziko muno kuti tithandize ana families are affected. Chachiwiri kunali ma fuel shortages amene akanaliponso apo ndi apo, tionetsetse kuti pumps athu asakhale dry.
zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo, lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi madapiri.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
This is Channel Africa.
Pray to the one you're relying. I've been wandering all day. I tried to be fine, but I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. I tried to get by, but I'm burning. I mean, I cannot buy. Send me a love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way where you cannot see. Man with this system, he cannot pray. I need to find relief. But behind my mind, it rhymes. All these thoughts have trouble name. Funny to give up my pain. Funny to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need, right? Yeah, I really need my love. I really need to free my mind. I really need to know. I need to free my mind out. I really need to know. I need to free my out. I really need to know. Oh, yeah. Just set me free, freer than the open mind, farther than the eyes can handle, freer than the ocean now. Yeah, yeah. So set me free. Now I need to find release. Set me to the open sky. Now I need to free my mind. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, I don't, yeah, oh no. I might be falling deep. 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 Tell me now what you need. I've been going to God when I'm only in my mind. I might be falling deep.
This is Tim's Free Mind, definitely one of her older jams, but what got me to really fall in love with Tim's was definitely this song. So a beautiful one indeed. It's 9:47 Central Africa time. This is On the Move right here on Channel Africa. We started off on an artistic note, and I find this so interesting because every time you consume art, any kind of art, be it music, be it visual art, even this radio is a form of art. So any kind of art that is your favorite, every time you consume art, you are usually consuming the final product, right? We've put all of this together and then we present it to you because we are ready and we've done all the processes behind the scenes. But what Slovo Mampaga is doing, it's really something that I think to myself, like, would I put myself in that kind of a vulnerable position? Because it takes a lot of guts to be that vulnerable, to say, hey guys, today I'm not presenting to you the final product like I usually do. Today I'm showing you, even the moments where I feel unsure, even the moments where I'm still experimenting, when I'm not really sure what the outcome is going to be. And that's what I'm presenting to you.
Yeah, that says a lot about process, right?
Yeah.
That process is something that we never investigate ourselves into looking into. Like, for instance, we always love the final product as human beings, whether, when you see someone's success or whether you see something on canvas that's finally put together, but you never really think about looking into the process that gets that person wherever they are before they got into that podium of achievement. Or, you never think about that final piece, whether it's music and how it got to that final beautification.
Because that's the thing, right? In the process, if you're any kind of artist, in the process, you will question yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, is this good enough? Is this what I'm trying to get out there? And so, many of us just don't like that. And that's why people like on Instagram, on social media, they don't show everything behind the scenes of their lives. They're just showing what they want us to see because people are so afraid of having others see that vulnerability of being unsure of yourself, of questioning yourself. So being able to show that, wow, I think that's going to be something to really look out for, because hopefully people can come back and say, if this person can be so vulnerable and show me their process, why am I so afraid of my own process? And you can look deeper into yourself and say, hey, I'm actually not that bad, and I can be more confident in my own processes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what's your thoughts on that conversation we just had? Remember, remember, in any conversation that we're having, you can be part of it. Remember, our WhatsApp number is +27 63 406 9126. You're welcome to send us your voice notes. You're welcome to send us your text there. It's 9:50 Central African Time. Let's take a break.
Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
The story that takes us to Zambia. There are two men actually that were sentenced to prison for the plot to kill the president with witchcraft. You go like, what? So these guys were arrested actually in Lusaka, and what was found on them was a live chameleon. Can you believe that?
Animal tails and bodies of concoction. That law takes us back to 1914.
Which is the Witchcraft Act. I can imagine now arrested and they go to jail for the next 2 years. You know, I presume that when you get to jail, they get to ask you actually, what is it that you committed?
Now, this is the first of its kind, by the way, for somebody to be arrested
for such. They in Pemba, whenever they pass.
Hey, Chikanga! Hey, Uloya! Hey, Mulosi!
And imagine here I am in these early hours of the mornings, I get to talk about witchcraft.
Saturday and Sunday mornings belong to the Morning Switch. 3 to 6 a.m. Central African Time.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Loving this love that you're giving me, you're like a wave that keeps lifting me, taking me so high. This feeling is so fire. You got the touch, that's the touch I need. Your kiss is warm like the summer breeze. You pour the good vibes all over my life. You bring the bright, your light, sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. You're the light that keeps shining. All the clouds all be hiding. Sunlight to my soul. You're the air that I'm breathing. So I think I'll be keeping you close. Your sunlight to my soul. Every time I'm feeling up my game, you put a smile right back on my face. You hold me tighter, and everything's brighter. You always know when I'm needing you. You always there when I reach for you. Your love is so strong. When anything goes wrong, you make it right. Your light, sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. You're the light that keeps shining.
Hey, that sounds a little bit Christmassy, that one, doesn't it? Taking us to Christmas season, I'm guessing. That's Angelique Kidjo, Sunlight to My Soul. And the Benin musician is hanging out with the South Africa's Soweto Gospel Choir on that one. Takes us to 56 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. In the coming hour, we're going to be also speaking a little bit of fashion. We've got our On the Move poll on today's question, and we are focusing on that question around, what makes something authentically African that is fashion? What makes a brand really stand out? Is it the cultural roots of the African continent? Is it the modern vision? Is it local craft? Is it bold identity? Let us know at Channel Africa 1 what you think of that upcoming conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be bringing in a beautiful fashion designer, has an incredible brand called Ezoketo that they started with their mother, and they've really traveled the entire world, which is a beautiful thing to see, because I've been seeing a huge spotlight on African fashion, and we've just seen a huge spotlight in African creativity in general, right? On the music that we have, on the fashion. Just last week was Nigeria Fashion Week, and I've seen people from all across the world posting pictures, doing videos, speaking on the fashion. I'm one of them. It was so incredible. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And even when, South Africa has a fashion week as well, we can see it all across the world, and people saying, oh, look at these lovely pieces. But what makes it so authentic is because they don't have the same thing. They don't have the same creative ideas. They don't have the same inspiration that we have, right? And so you see it there. You see, okay, when you look at some of this fashion, you can relate it to some of the traditional things that we have here in Africa. You can relate it to our fauna and flora, our plants and our animals. You can relate it to the vibrant colors of our different traditional wares and the materials that we bring into ourselves. And those are the things that are authentic to us. And just seeing those being created in various different ways, it's so fantastic to me. It just looks so great. So there really is no need anymore for, the big fashion brands that people have aspired to all along, saying one day I want to own a LV purse or this or that or the other. Now the inspiration is right here. Those are the pieces that people want to own because they really are an extension of art.
Yeah, I'm also curious around the sustainability of African fashion, also in terms of making sure that we bring it closer to the people. Sometimes I think African brands feel like a little bit far. Sometimes you ask someone like, where did you get this nice African branded product? And, it's very hard to tap into it. As much as we are Africans, usually we have a lot of Western designs that are easily accessible to us, but the real African design is becoming a niche.
Yeah.
It's becoming also sometimes something that is exclusive to a particular group of people.
Yeah.
It's almost like you must go hunting for these things.
Yeah. So no, it's no longer a big hunt. I think it is becoming a little bit more accessible to.
Where?
Yeah, I think everywhere. I mean, like I said, I'm wearing this fashion
How
brand
did you
right
get
now.
that brand?
I found it on social media.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm talking about just going to a shop, going to a mall, finding the shops there, because that's what's more accessible to us. How do we change that? Because for me, that makes things a little bit easier for us to tap into it in terms of not just going online and searching for something, but that our branding should be the closest thing to us as Africans ourselves.
Okay, well, I guess we'll delve deeper into that conversation in the next hour of the show. For now, let's bring back Onele Nzinzi, who has our latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Looking at your top stories, South Africa's police minister hands in electronic devices to police, and Trump administration ordered to fully fund food aid for Americans. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. South Africa's police minister, Senzo Mchunu, has handed over his electronic devices to investigators at the South African Police Service. This has been confirmed by his spokesperson, Sthembi Somshengu, in a statement released this morning. Khunu, who is on leave of absence, has been accused of corruption, having ties to criminal syndicates and meddling in police investigations. KwaZulu-Natal Province National Police Commissioner made the accusations at a media briefing this year. Khunu has denied any wrongdoing. The Forum for South Africa is calling on government to urgently rescue the 17 South African men trapped in Ukraine's war-torn Donbas region. The men aged between 20 and 39 were allegedly lured with the promise of a job, but are now stranded. However, according to some media reports, the men were lured to join the mercenary forces in the Russia-Ukraine conflict under the pretext of lucrative contracts. Forza National leader Tebogo Mashilompane explains.
We know that the level of unemployment is very high in the country, and we might play a blame game on them to say, why did they go there? But you can't stay in a country when you are unemployed and they tell you that there's an opportunity for employment, and then you go there. So we believe South Africa must use diplomatic channels immediately. They must contact Russia and also Ukraine, and then they send a military aircraft and they fetch those people immediately.
More than 200 refugees have been displaced in a fire that has destroyed a tent housing them at Wingfield in Voortrekker Road in South Africa's Cape Town city. No injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire is yet to be established. Ward Councillor Cheslin Steenberg says the tent was already in a poor condition.
This tent was not a very good state to live in, and we have communicated that. My office communicated that with all the relevant stakeholders, including the Department of Home Affairs and Health, to come in and see how they can assist, including, repatriating them back to their countries, voluntary deportation and so on. But as we know that there is a current court battle ongoing with the eviction process, and unfortunately this has not happened.
Cameroon President Paul Biya has promised to restore order following post-election violence in the country. Biya has been sworn in for an 8th consecutive term. He blamed what he called irresponsible politicians for disturbing the peace. The BBC's Paul G.
President Paul Biya sternly blamed those he called irresponsible politicians for disturbing the country's peace shortly after the election. In his inaugural address, he said there was no need for a post-electoral crisis, insisting it would be disastrous for the nation. Despite widespread criticism of the security forces' handling of recent protests, Biya went on to congratulate them. After 43 years in power, he re-echoed his commitment to focus on issues affecting women and young people, while also promising to crack down on corruption. Opposition leader Issa Chiroma Bakari, who came second in the election, insists he is the rightful winner.
A U.S. judge has ordered the Trump administration to fully fund food aid for tens of millions of Americans. Judge John McConnell said that without the aid, 16 million children would go hungry. The Department of Agriculture halted benefits for November, saying the program had no more funds because of the government shutdown. The U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has criticized the ruling.
It's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown. What we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But in the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation. We're trying to keep as much going as possible.
Recapping on your top stories, South Africa's Police Minister Senzo Mchunu has handed over his electronic devices to investigators at the South African Police Service. Mchunu is on a leave of absence, has been accused of corruption, having ties to criminal syndicates and meddling in police investigations. Now, for any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Nzinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Channel Africa.
Your Africa, your voice, your channel. Channel Africa.
The African Perspective.
On the Move with Benjamin and Palesa every weekday on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
All right, we're moving into the second hour of On the Move. You with myself, Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa. The rise of African fashion is driven by many factors, really. The resurgence that we are seeing in the past decade or two is because of cultural pride, increased global recognition, and the power of digital platforms. One of those who is riding on this wave is Ezoketo, which is a fashion label. We'll be speaking to its founder, Mpumelelo Dlamini, who will be joining us in studio. So that's going to be an exciting one there. After graduating with a BA degree in fashion at the Vilioti Fashion Institute, Lele sought out to create a clothing brand that is really about African storytelling. We'll get into that adventure of finding out how she actually navigated that journey. Anything that has to do with manufacturing, industrialization on the African continent is a big challenge. When you speak about fashion, it's really an industry that is really challenged by also the fact that we have a dominating Western fashion culture on the African continent. So we'll find out from Lele how they navigate that. Remember, we're live on Facebook. We're live on our handle on our YouTube page at Channel Africa 1. So we're available. Come join us in. Let us know where you're listening to Channel Africa from. It's 7 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
Oh yeah, it's the multi-talented. Again, just trust in me. I built you a masterpiece. This world not enough for me. Kiss me in the cheeks, sing off for me. Oh, close company. Energy feel no punch on me. Yeah. This luxury. RP DJ somebody. Oh, the mommy's on a Egypt. T-shirt off white logo. You know, Abu Dhabi foot. Yeah. Sweet on my neck. Oh, yeah. Diamonds ain't clear, sleep when I'm dead. Yeah. One girl, not enough for me. Two girls, not enough for me. Three girls, not enough for me. Not enough for me. Not enough for me. Four girls, not enough for me. Five girls, not enough for me. Six girls, not enough for me. Not enough for me. No, no. I pull up in a Tonka truck. You either get bust around or bust up. What's in the briefcase? The rands of dollars. Don't be a cheap date, let's pop the borders. Lames in the sec and I blame in the net. Let's do the money dance, one dial for a fade. Keep it in the fam and cut my cousin. The pillows in the air, it's soft, it's moisture. Nivea defense to block the solar. Pasta Mary Jane, this world my oyster. Yeah. Los Angeles, give me more ambience. BBC One, smoking. It's international motion. Let me do my dance. Let me cut my bands. I'm thinking about my stop plan. Reprogram, reset. Stay focused, revenge. Until then, foot on neck. Just trust in me. I built you a masterpiece. This world not enough for me. Kiss me in the cheeks, sing off for me. Oh, company. Energy feel no punch on me. Yeah. This luxury. RP DJ somebody. Oh, the mommy's on a Egypt. T-shirt off white logo. You know, Abu Dhabi foot. Yeah. Sweet on my neck. Oh, yeah. Diamonds ain't clear, sleep when I'm dead. Yeah. One girl not enough for me. Two girls, not enough for me. Three girls, not enough for me. Not enough for me.
Hey, that's the voice of AKA with Kido there. That one is titled Company. It takes us to 10 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
The voice of the continent, now online, with all your sports fixtures, lifestyle, and more.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palesa and Benjamin.
All right, it's 11 minutes past 10 Central Africa time. We started off with some visual arts and now we're going into fashion. It's definitely one of my favorite things to talk about because, you know, girls gotta look good, and the rise of African fashion has really been driven by a combination of factors like, you know, the resurgence of cultural pride, increased global recognition, and also the power of digital platforms. So today we're delving deeper into the world of fashion.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this one. We've got Mpumelelo Dlamini who's joining us in studio, and we are going to be speaking a little bit about this wonderful adventure called Ezoketo, which is a wonderful line which has really showed the power of storytelling, and also that African signature is still relevant today. And Mpumelelo is with us in studio. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here on Channel Africa.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're also excited to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about how you got into fashion. It feels like it's a daunting thing to do as an African. Anything that's like creative is like, no, don't go in that direction. Africans do finance. This is only where you are successful if you do all these serious administrative jobs. But you said, no, I'm going into this.
Yeah, I've always been a creative being.
Sure.
Growing up, I used to be surrounded by, there's a lot of women
Sure.
in my family. So growing up around them and just inheriting that creative bone, from cooking to fashion to music also. So it's just a lover. I'm just a lover of anything creative.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
And I remember convincing my parents that yes, I'm good at IT. Yes, I'm good at this. But listen, I need to express myself. And I found myself in the world of fashion. Studied fashion for 3 years, did music for 2,
Okay.
went back to fashion. My mom was like, if you're going to do fashion, you're getting the degree.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Sure.
Let's speak about that convincing, because many of us, if we're trying to go into like something creative, there needs to be some convincing our African parents to let us do something like that. So, other than convincing them, were you convinced with trying to go into this line?
So from a young age, it's something that I've always sort of embodied, is that put me anywhere and I'll thrive. And even as a child growing up, my parents knew that if I put my head into something, I would succeed in it. So convincing them was exactly that. I told them that just let me be in this and let me dive into it, and you'll see, because they've seen patterns, they saw how I would perform at school.
Nice.
Didn't love school, but I performed really well because I needed to be out of there as soon as I could. But that's how I managed to convince them to say, listen, I'm going to make this work.
Yeah.
And I did.
And channeling that creative energy is something that, you probably have to experiment a few things before you kind of zone into something. Did you immediately get into fashion, or was it kind of trying different creative things until you kind of settled into fashion? Because you also spoke about your interest in music.
It was a bit of a trial and error, but when I looked back at my childhood, also going back, I really enjoyed playing with Barbie dolls also, and it was more of coordinating the fashion.
Yes.
And then I used to enjoy spy movies, because they would always get into this character every time they go undercover and so forth. And from then on, I think I also had a sketchbook.
Nice.
Where I used to doodle a lot, and it didn't click up until I was in matric, and I needed to decide what I wanted to do. It was either music. Music didn't really have a lot, and I remember my family wanted me to get into IT because I was good at computers.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I was like, I just need something creative. And my aunt found a poster inside Elle magazine about varsity fashion school.
Great.
And I went for an interview. I was still in matric, went for an interview, and then I was taken. I was immediately accepted. And
nice.
That's how it started.
It's beautiful.
So you did say that, your mom said, if you're going to do this, you have to get your degree. And that's exactly what you did, right? You got your degree in fashion. But after that, a lot of the times, once you have that piece of paper, it can be hard to know or understand how you're actually going to channel that into the real world. Like, how am I going to make this something that is my own? So speak to me about that process. You're done, you've got your piece of paper, you've made your parents proud, but now you actually have to put this in practice.
It was actually quite a tricky one. So I had to, after getting the piece of paper, I did an interview for a design program that was being done by Edcon at that time. And I got accepted into it. And in that program, I immediately understood that I have to now get the degree of real life, like practicality.
Yes.
Because what I learned in varsity, yes, it's the basics, but now when we go into real life, going to retail and understanding the psychology of the people that you actually catering to, I had to relearn, and I had to sort of open up my mind to say, okay, I'm going to relearn. And then from then on, I sort of carved my path into understanding that I don't want to work in fashion per se in terms of retail. I want to start my own business because I've always dreamt of telling our stories through fabric.
And that's the one thing that I was speaking to Pali about, the fact that retail is a different ball game on the African continent, because we don't necessarily have access to our own designs, our own designers. It's almost like you have, even if you have an African print, it's almost shaped within that Western islands. So actually creating your own business was saying, I want to be independent. How important was that independence of expression for you?
It was because what I figured out when I was interning for and sort of worked for Edcon for those few years is that we sort of boxed into this Western world, and it limits our creativity so much that you are just clocking in the hours and you're in and out. So the decision of me moving into my own storytelling platform and creating my own platform was exactly inspired by that I wanted to sort of dive in deep and tell our stories from an authentic place, things that affect our day-to-day, how we grieve, how we celebrate, how we do things. And it's exactly that, and it's allowing me to also express myself. I recently lost my mom, and
condolences.
Thank you. And I expressed myself through that, and people around can relate because how we grieve is sort of similar, and how we heal, how we, so those are the things that are actually telling our stories, because once they're documented, then it's history. we don't have much that is archived in terms of African fashion, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve, so that years from now generations can look back to say, oh, this is us, this is how we tell stories.
So we'll talk about that. We would love to speak about how to tell stories through fabric, through color, through texture, and of course,
you did it so well,
and of course, that's what we're going to delve deeper into. We're speaking to Mpumelele, also known as Lele Dlamini, the founder of Ezoketo, and so we're going into the world of fashion. This is On the Move.
Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa on the move. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter?
Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard?
Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126.
And we will call you back.
So you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views.
Share your opinion.
Engage with a community that values your perspective.
Follow us on our social media.
Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za
and get ready to share your views
on Channel Africa,
the African perspective. Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
We're really enjoying this one. We're speaking about fashion, and we're joined in studio by Mpumelele Dlamini, the founder of fashion brand Ezoketo. Of course, you can catch it. I am wearing some Ezoketo today, and it feels so good. It feels fabulous.
Looks really like light. Very brightly colored, very distinctly unique.
Color, texture, very unique, and the experience itself in creating an item is just a really beautiful experience too. So I'll speak about that a little bit later on, the experience of actually getting an item from Ezoketo, like I have and stuff. So if you want to see this interview, if you want to see the piece that I'm wearing today as well, catch our live stream. We are live on Facebook, that is Channel Africa. We're also live on YouTube at Channel Africa 1. You spoke a little bit more about wanting to really express the storytelling nature of who we are and who you are as an African. And I think it really starts with the name of your brand, Ezoketo. Tell us about the name.
The name was actually also quite the journey, because after I completed the year, when I decided to finish off my qualification, I registered a name, and it was contested in terms of patents and so forth, and it was a back and forth. And then I sat down with my mom and I was like, listen, I feel like this isn't the right name that I need to be using. And I was like, I need an African name, more especially a Zulu name, because we're Zulu. And I wanted something like that expresses who we are, the chosen. And we came up with 5 names, and one of them my mom came up with was Ezoketo. And I was like, that's it.
Yes.
And that's how it came about.
So she really does live through and through your brand, your mother. What sort of inspiration? Because you make clothes for women in particular, and that shows that there is I guess the woman, the figure of the woman, but also the traditional aspects of it, the color. Does it inspire is your mom part of the inspiration of your creative process?
Yes. All of the women in my family, actually, my aunts, because they raised me. So they grew up quite independent. They were workers, and they worked in their fields, they dominated in their fields. And I wanted to sort of do power dressing, but from a feminine perspective.
Yes.
Hence the broad shoulder suits, the flared pants, sort of making a statement, but in a feminine way, so that when a woman walks into a boardroom, she doesn't have to put on a suit to be taken seriously, but she can be who she is, because what she's wearing is a quarter of what she can bring to the table. Her mind is what she brings to the table.
Sure.
I'm here to work, not to be, taken on seriously.
Sure.
It's sort of from that perspective. It's sort of balancing the scales also.
The balancing the scales is a big question for me because there is a flamboyance to this and there is kind of a drama in your design and a largeness of personality. I love the fact that you use these soft fabrics, but your patterning is also bold in itself. So it's not understated. Not at all.
No, we don't want to be. That's what we try not to do. We want to show that, you know, the power in femininity.
Sure.
There's so much power and it's beautiful and it shouldn't be hidden.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's speak about your prints. It's one of the things that I love about your clothing is like this beautiful, bold prints, different kinds of prints. There's one that's quite an intriguing print, the print of the chicken foot on some of your clothing items, which is really pretty. I think it's unexpected, but it really works. So when you think about these prints and you come up with them and what belongs on the clothing items of Ezoketo, how do you do that?
So how the chicken foot came about, I think we were in a period where everyone was now trying to find this deep story, this, oh my God, I went through the trenches.
Yeah.
And I just wanted something with a bit of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, chicken feet, it's a cross-cultural element.
Yeah, it really is.
Walkie-talkie, so I wanted something with humor, and then I collaborated with an artist by the name of Alexandra Foslow, good friend of mine. And I was like, listen, I need a sketch, an illustration of a chicken foot.
Yeah.
Please don't think I'm crazy. And he was like, no, definitely, let's do it. And I was like, and to top it off, can it have red nail polish? And then he was like, yay, let's go for it. And we did. He illustrated it for me. We digitized it, and then it was part of our prints.
Oh, wonderful! You know, let's come back to that conversation of accessibility, right? And what you've done is you've actually put your own way of making your art pieces out there, because I think your dresses and your fashion is art in itself. You know, because it's so unique, but how do you put it out there? Because I see that you've worked with big brands, you've been on Netflix, you've been on Vogue International, also some local fashion brands. How do you get the word out there about this wonderful artistry?
So running your own brand is actually such a learning curve.
Yeah.
And I used to hear the term, it's 90% business, 10% creativity. And
Sure.
it's exactly that.
Wow.
And it's just a matter of networking. I was fortunate that when I was starting out with this the EdCon program that was happening, I met some of the industry sort of players who I then latched onto. I didn't even win that competition, by the way, but I knew that my goal isn't to exactly win, but it's to foster long-lasting relationships.
Great.
And I took on mentors that I was like, listen, I need I want to do this.
Yes.
Sure.
This needs to happen. And they mentored me, and stylists started sourcing clothes. We started dressing personalities.
Wow.
And from then on, it just skyrocketed and accelerated, also by God's grace. I think the prints also, they spoke for themselves.
Sure.
And what we stood for, and all of those elements sort of played a role in terms of us getting the word out there. And we're still growing. I'm just excited to see how the brand is growing. We recently did Bloom, which the reception was so beautiful. I didn't even know that the brand was known like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And straight after we did Cape Town, which was also quite beautiful.
Wonderful.
So people are very receptive, and they're watching. You might not see 1 million likes on Instagram, but people are definitely watching, and they're following, and they're definitely supporting, and I'm grateful for that.
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us.
Thank you
This has
so
really been
much.
incredible. Just to find out the story behind the brand is incredible, because I think it gives us that backdrop of why this is, how these prints, these colors come about. And when you wear something, it's good to know sometimes what the story of that brand is. But yeah, tell us more about where we can go to find out about Ezokhetho, where we find the clothes, but also where we can follow you on the social media platforms.
On social media platforms, it's Ezokhetho on X, Instagram, TikTok, and then on Facebook it's Ezokhetho Official. We're also on LinkedIn at Ezokhetho, and then our website is ezokhetho.com. You can always pop us an email if you want to inquire about anything at info@ezokhetho.com.
Yeah.
We are based at Victoria Yards. Our clothes can also be found at Africa Rise in Sandton. We also have an online store. But anything you need, you're always welcome to inquire.
All right. Just for you out there, Ezokhetho is spelled EZOKHETHO. EZOKHETHO.
Yeah, man, that's how we wrap it up. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank
It's been
you so
wonderful.
much for having me.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's 10:30 Central Africa time. Musibudi Makura is back to give us our latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you so much, Palesa. A very good morning once again from the sports desk. So South Africa's Proteas star batter Quinton de Kock says he has no regrets about retiring from international cricket about 2 years ago, revealing that the break gave him some much needed time to be away from the game and much more hungrier to be part of the game once again. De Kock rolled back the years with an unbeaten 123 in the second one-day international against Pakistan to lead his team to an unbeaten, an 8-wicket victory at the Iqbal Stadium in Faisalabad. Now playing in only his first ODI series since his return to the Proteas fold in September, the wicketkeeper says he had lost the required desire after more than a decade representing South Africa.
To be fair, no. I feel like coming back now, the 2 years I've had a break, I've come back and I found a newfound energy that I think I lost over time, playing so much international cricket all the time. I mean, I don't know how long I played. I think it was close to like 12, 13 years. I was just lucky enough that I retired actually early enough so I can still make a comeback. So I don't regret it. I'm very happy to be back. I want to be back.
At the same time, de Kock gave credit to the teenage sensation Luandri de Pretorius for the way he played, sharing, of course, an opening stand of 81 runs before the latter was dismissed for 64 runs. He says all he had to do was to get him on strike and let the partnership grow.
I think, obviously, young Luandri made it very easy because he was playing really well. And so the easy thing was just to try and get him back on strike because he seemed to be in the ball really well. So that was just what I thought when I was out there. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, now obviously with the dew, batting obviously got a little bit easier as more and more moisture came into the air. So.
On to football news now. CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe says adding Morocco to the list of AFCON host nations forms part of the broader vision to develop the continent's sporting infrastructure. So building on this vision, all eyes are now on the upcoming edition of Africa's premier football competition set for the 21st of December right until the 18th of January 2026 across all 6 Moroccan cities. Now with the FIFA World Cup to follow next year, Motsepe believes interest in African football which will reach rather unprecedented levels.
For me as president of CAF, I've got 2 obligations. Number one is I need the best infrastructure, facilities, stadiums, hotels, hospitals, roads, non-negotiable. The second thing is I have to develop football in every part of the continent. So that's why I'm rotating. Every zone has to have an opportunity to host because look at what happened in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. So this is part of what I have to do is to contribute to the development and growth and excitement of football in every one of the 54 nations.
Motsepe is also back in Morocco to deliver a tournament worthy of Africa's pride.
Morocco won the competition. There was a tender and there were many, many other countries. But let me also make one confession. I also need money, and I need the money to go into young boys and young girls football development. And I know we made good money in Ivory Coast.
And finally, Turkish prosecutors said earlier today they have ordered the detention of 21 people, including 17 referees, as well as the chairman of the unnamed Super League club, as part of an investigation into alleged betting on soccer matches. So far, 18 of the 21 suspects have been detained. That's according to state-owned Andinola news agency. The move comes a week after the Turkish Football Federation suspended 149 referees and assistant referees after an investigation found the officials working in the country's professional leagues were betting on football matches. Now, the Istanbul Chief Prosecutor's Office said the detention of the 17 referees was on the grounds of abuse of duty as well as manipulating match results. A Super League club president also said a former club owner as well as a former association president were also were also allegedly detained over those alleged match fixing reports. And that's a wrap from the Sports Desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Alternatively, give us a call on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update on the this morning, in the next hour for Channel Africa Sport. I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thank you so much, Musibudi. Let's move on now and get our business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Benjamin. Good morning. The Malawian government has announced an immediate ban on maize exports in response to the country's worsening food crisis. The move, aimed at stabilizing local supply and curbing price hikes, comes as over 4 million people face hunger following prolonged dry spells. Authorities say the measure is also intended to protect the livelihoods of millions who rely on maize as their staple food. Chief economist at the Dawn Consultancy Group, Chief Mango, gave this analysis.
I think the ban is quite called for in the event that now there's shortage of food in the country. So I think to stabilize the prices of maize in Malawi, obviously the ban comes into effect. So I think there has been a culture of those that are doing maize trading in Malawi, actually holding back in terms of maize on the market, trying to actually push the market, the prices of maize higher. So the government is now taking a reactive approach in the manner whereby now, since they'll be importing maize from countries such as Zambia.
Former South African Public Enterprises Minister Malusi Gigaba has handed himself to the police in Pretoria. He says he'll cooperate fully with the National Prosecuting Authority as he appears in court today. This is in connection with alleged procurement irregularities at Transnet. Gigaba, who was named during the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, maintains that due process guided his non-executive role in the procurement. Samkele Maseko reports.
The matter does relate to a state-owned company, Transnet, during his time, and the particular links to the Gupta family and what transpired, particularly when it came to the capturing of the state-owned enterprises during that particular period that was being investigated by the State Capture Commission of Inquiry led by former Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo.
South African fashion retailer TFG has reported a 21.3% decrease in half-year earnings as trading conditions remain challenging across Africa, the UK and Australia. The sales were supported mainly by the acquisition of British chain White Stuff. TFG says headlines earnings per share fell to 293.6 cents in the 6 months ended September 30 compared to the prior year. Operating profit declined 9.9% to $132.85 million, reflecting persistent economic pressures and higher promotional intensity across winter months. The Chinese Consul General in South Africa, Pan King Jiang, has praised the growing ties between China and South Africa, describing the relationship as entering a new era of all-round strategic cooperation. Speaking at a seminar titled China's Development, Global Opportunities in Johannesburg, Pan said that under the leadership of Presidents Cyril Ramaphosa and Xi Jinping, the two nations have achieved remarkable progress, deepening mutual beneficial collaboration across various sectors. And Channel Africa's reporter Michael Mbewe found this report.
The relationship between South Africa and China has grown into a model of strategic partnership rooted in mutual respect, shared development goals, and strong political trust. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties in 1998, the two countries have steadily deepened cooperation across trade, infrastructure, education, and technology. Under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa and President Xi Jinping, this partnership has evolved into an all-round strategic cooperative relationship in the new era.
Japan's economy contracted for the first time in 6 quarters in the July-September period after being battered by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff policies. Gross domestic product GDP in real terms probably shrank an annualized 2.5% in the third quarter. This is according to the median forecast of 18 economists after an annualized 2.2% expansion in the second quarter. Without annualization, the third quarter contraction was estimated at 0.6%. Now let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,439 naira. In Botswana, 13 pula 33. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 24. Zambia, 22 kwacha 29. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 35. In Russia, 81 rubles 29. China, India is at 88 rupees 62, China 71.12, South Africa 17 rand 37 cents. Commodities, gold is at $4,004, platinum at $1,548 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $63.95 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chandruko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix. Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki yao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanapenda kuhubiria muziki ya zamani na muziki ya wengine ambao ni taimbo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudia yani mara mbili sivyo, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aidha, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuja kuona kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Where Africa's voices rise, with stories that matter, we lead the conversation.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Yeah, Starboy Day for you. Starboy Day for you. Baby girl, you find yourself, oh. Girl, you make my head red, oh. Anytime you know they close to me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby, girl, now you I want to. Baby, shey na me you want to. Make we dey 1 + 1 or 2, yeah, yeah, yeah. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh. Yeah, yeah. Star boy day for you. Star boy day for you. Everywhere you go, baby girl, you be my handbag. Gone are the days when me and you just stand for. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Making it right, make it just this stand for it, though. So good. Open up my mind, and only you did my mind, though. Yeah. Baby girl, you find yourself, though. Girl, you make my head red, though. Anytime you know they close to me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby girl, now you I want, though. Baby, shey na me you want, though. Make we dey 1 + 1 or 2, yeah, yeah, yeah. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh. Yeah, yeah. Star boy day for you. Star boy day for you. This kind of love where I get to no corny, yo. Baby, I'm gonna shine with you to the morning, yo. This way I gonna do for you, girl, you know funny, yo. Don't be gonna love, man, use you play. Although, everywhere you go, baby, I go be your handbag. Gone are the days when I go let you stand for. Yeah, yeah. Making it right, make it just this stand for it, though. So good. Open up my mind, and only you did my mind, though. Yeah. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. It be only you be my desire, oh. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. 1 liter, oh say 1 yacha. 1 liter, oh say 1 liter. Only your water be burn my fire, oh.
All right, this is WizKid giving us this one. It's titled Fever. 10:47 Central Africa time. This is On the Move. We're having an incredible creative Friday, and we're speaking fashion, we're speaking visual arts, we're speaking music. It's definitely a great time. So if you want to engage with us on the good time that we're having this Friday, head on over to our social media platforms. We are at Channel Africa 1. That On the Move poll is still up pertaining to our second hour. We're speaking about fashion. So head on over there. We are at Channel Africa 1 on X. And when you get there, you'll see our quiz. It's pinned up there. We're asking you, what makes a fashion brand truly, authentically African to you? So there are no right or wrong answers, right? It's all about you. Is it the cultural roots that are obviously portrayed within the items? Is it a modern vision? Is it the local craft? So here in South Africa, we have something called Proudly South African. And when people have brands from here, they have that Proudly South African logo. So maybe if you're Nigerian, do you do it because they have their Nigerian brand and wherever you are on the African continent? The fourth answer is the bold identity. So let us know there at Channel Africa 1 on X. That's our On the Move poll.
Hey, you said you had a very unique experience with our guests in terms of how they created an item for you. How was that?
Yeah. So there were two items that were created. Myself and my partner were going to get some items for our holiday. And there were were items that I already seen, on their catalogs, etc., that I was already drawn to. But what was beautiful is like walking in there and seeing like a mix of the kind of things that they have. But what was great is that we wanted a matching piece. So what you see that I'm wearing now, which is like this pair of shorts with like a skirt, almost like a culotte kind of happening, was from an inspiration of the longer length skirt that I was making with these beautiful pleats, asymmetric lines, these great prints as well with the different colors. So it was finding that inspiration from one particular item that's already on that line, but having, that creative process of being able to change it up for yourself.
So you designed your outfit yourself.
Designing the outfit yourself with their help and saying, I want to take this, but I also want a matching piece that's not on your line, but something that is inspired from something that's already on the line. So I enjoy that, right? Having the authenticity of the brand, but also being able to change it up and make it your own.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool experience, right?
So very, very beautiful experience, but also very friendly.
Nice.
Very in tune with, the kind of things that you would want, and very open to ideas as
Wonderful, man. You are listening to Channel Africa. Hey, be part of that poll that Bali was talking about at Channel Africa 1 on X, and let us know what you think about fashion on the African continent. What makes it unique? It's 10:50 Central African time. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chemane.
I've witnessed something fresh, something exciting, and something very inspirational from the president of the country, William Ruto. Whenever athletes are performing to their best level, he always comes on board to reward those athletes, be it football, be it athletics, and not leaving it up to the sport ministry.
The president realizes that sports is a business, and for that reason, he also reduces the number of people who are jobless, because sports now is such a serious business, and for that reason, commercialization of sports is a major way of improving or increasing employment opportunities for the young people, and that is why the president has been very persistent in trying as much as possible to inspire more sports personalities to reduce the baggage of the people who are struggling to get job opportunities in the country among the young people.
Francis F.M. Mutegi, our correspondent from East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Weekdays, 6 till 9.
The South African Medical Association, SAMA, has officially suspended all relations with the Israeli Medical Association, a move welcomed by healthcare workers for Palestine, South Africa. The organization This decision represents a powerful stand for medical ethics, justice, and human rights, echoing the global call for solidarity with Palestinians.
And recently, we've also seen other national associations, such as the British Medical Association, Turkish. They've released quite strongly worded statements, although none have gone as far as SAMA to cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association, as well as to call for the suspension from the World Medical Association. It's a watershed moment that an organization has actually taken this step. And it's not an idle threat. SAMA is a member of the World Medical Association, and they can action this resolution by bringing it before the World Medical Association.
Dr. Sadiq Mullah, chairperson of Healthcare Workers for Palestine, South Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
Listen in on Channel Africa.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Beautiful is your name. Wonderful is what you are to me. It's you I see in my dreams every day, and I pray for you, Queen of my life. are so beautiful, mama. You're beautiful. Emi wa mama kan. Talori yeah. Mama mi o roju ri. That is why I'm loving you. Nítorí ọmọ ó jìyà nílé ọkọ. Mama mi ò rojú rí. That is why I'm loving you. La 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi. Òrìṣà bí ìjà o, kò sí láyé. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi. Òrìṣà bí ìjà o. Go see light, oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful, oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Whoa, woman, there is no one like you. There's no one like you. Nítorí ọmọ ó jìyà nílé ọkọ. Màmá mi ò rojú rí. And that is why I'm loving you. Nítorí ọmọ ó jìyà nílé ọkọ. Màmá mi ò rojú rí. And that is why I'm loving you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh yeah. La 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi. Òrìṣà bí ìjà o, kò sí láyé. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi. Òrìṣà bí ìjà o, kò sí láyé. Oh yeah, la 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 la. That's why you're beautiful. Oh yeah, la 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 la. You're a beauty, and that's why I'm loving you. Yeah, you're a beauty, and that's why I'm loving you. Yeah, the water, hey, the water. Oh, I need to go.
Download the SABC app and take Channel Africa with you everywhere you go.
That is Asha. So Beautiful is the name of that particular jam. We are keeping things moving. We'll be bringing into studio just in a couple of minutes Mr. Lou, who's already here in our studio. So don't forget, if you want to catch the action of what's going on right here, we are streaming live on Facebook and we're streaming live on YouTube. On YouTube, we are Channel Africa 1. So that's what you need to search there. And of course, we are streaming throughout the show and of course throughout the day as well. And of course, on Facebook, we are just Channel Africa. So if you search there, we are there. And of course, you can stream us on those platforms. And you can also comment on the stream, which is so relevant, so easy to do, and so convenient to do as well. We'd love to see you there. Let us know where in the world you are tuned in from and send us the questions or even just the comments that you have for the show today.
Hey, we're moving into our third hour of the show. It's been a good one. Remember, let's keep that On the Move poll going. At Channel Africa 1 is our X handle. Let's get that conversation on fashion going, and it should be a good one. And yeah, we still have our On the Move quiz that's coming up a little bit later. Palesa has been away, so it's been on hold. So we're going to be bringing it back today, so it should be a good one. But right now, let's get the latest news. It's 1100 hours Central African time, right here on Channel Africa.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Benjamin. Looking at your top stories, South Africa's police minister hands in electronic devices to the police, and Trump administration ordered to fully fund food aid for Americans. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. South Africa's police minister, Senzo Mchunu's handing over of his electronic devices to authority is part of an ongoing investigation into the KwaZulu-Natal Province Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's allegations. According to Mkhwanazi, senior police officials, including Mchunu, are involved in corruption, interfering in police operations, and have links to criminal syndicates. Kono, who is on leave of absence, denied any wrongdoing when he appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee that's investigating Mkhwanazi's allegations last month. Kenny Mapanga reports.
There's confirmation that the police minister, who has been placed on a leave of absence, that is Senzo Mchunu, has officially handed over his electronic devices, and he's done so voluntarily. We know that it's at least 5 electronic devices that were taken. That is the state-issued laptop that he has, as well as a personal tablet, or we could call it an iPad. And there's 2 unused old cell phones that they also took that were found in his possession, as well as his 1 active phone that he currently uses. That rounds up the people of interest that have been, I guess, raided, and their devices have been taken.
Refugees who have been displaced after fire destroyed their tent at Wingfield Maitland in Cape Town, South Africa, say they are devastated. The fire broke out yesterday and displaced over 200 refugees. These victims explained what happened.
Everything, diplomas, certificate, 31 years of living in South Africa, I've lost everything. Clothes, everything.
When the fire started, I was sleeping. I was just in the tent sleeping. However, until now, we don't know what caused the fire. Yeah. So when I just heard people shouting out, "Fire, fire," and I see smokes, and the heat was now too much in the tent. Now I had to go out.
The son of Zimbabwe's late President Robert Mugabe has been released on bail following his arrest last month over unlawful possession of cannabis. The Harare magistrate Lisa Mutendereki had issued a warrant of arrest for Robert Mugabe Jr. after he failed to appear in court for his routine remand. Police searched a black sling bag he was wearing at the time and allegedly found 2 small sachets of cannabis. Cameroon's 92-year-old President Paul Biya has promised to restore order following post-election violence. Biya has been sworn in for an 8th consecutive term. He blamed what he called irresponsible politicians for disturbing the peace. The BBC's Paul Njie reports.
President Paul Biya sternly blamed those he called irresponsible politicians for disturbing the country's peace shortly after the election. In his inaugural address, he said there was no need for a post-electoral crisis, insisting it would be disastrous for the nation. Despite widespread criticism of the security forces' handling of recent protests, Biya went on to congratulate them. After 43 years in power, he re-echoed his commitment to focus on issues affecting women and young people, while also promising to crack down on corruption. Opposition leader Issa Chiroma Bakari, who came second in the election, insists he is the rightful winner.
Lastly, a U.S. judge has ordered the Trump administration to fully fund food aid for tens of millions of Americans. Judge John McConnell said that without the aid, 16 million children would go hungry. The Department of Agriculture halted benefits for November, saying the program had no more funds because of the government shutdown. The U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has criticized the ruling.
It's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown. which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But in the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation. We're trying to keep as much going as possible.
Now, recapping on your top story, South Africa's police minister, Senzo Mchunu, has handed over his electoral devices to investigators at the South African Police Service. Mchunu, who is on a leave of absence, has been accused of corruption, having ties to criminal syndicates and meddling in police investigations. Now, for the news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective. This is
Channel Africa.
On the Move with Benjamin and Palesa every weekday on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Bring on the energy.
Yes, we are here. It's a Friday, and it's a
is.
Friday for us because the creative energy enters the studio, and we just have a whole lot of fun on a Friday.
Oh yes, so much fun, and the fun isn't stopping at all.
Yay.
We're going to be continuing on that fun note. We're bringing in award-winning music producer, DJ, percussionist, and entrepreneur, Mr. Lou, into studio.
How do these people do all these things in one go?
I wonder, because I'm already struggling with the 24 hours that we have right now. So where they get the extra time is a mystery to me.
All right, man. Also known as the drum freak. We'll find out why, but also navigating the music industry in an industry whereby, you know what, the DJing environment can feel like it's oversaturated. Everyone wants to be a DJ on the African continent. How do you stay relevant? How do you stay on top of your game? That's what's coming up right here on Channel Africa.
Stay with us. We are on the move at Channel Africa 1. Stream us live on YouTube, Channel Africa on Facebook. And if you want to have your voice heard, go to our WhatsApp number, +27 63 406 9126.
Hey, that's the beautiful Hallelujah Texela Sadiq with one title, Tiyelebe, one of the rising stars in Ethiopia. Hey, we're going to get into the music. This is our music hour on a Friday. Finally, we are here. We've been waiting for this moment. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za.
dziko lapansi likuyang'ana mzinda wa johannesburg. atsogoleri ochokera m'mayiko akuluakulu azachuma pa dziko lapansi akumana kukambirana njira zomwe zingasinthe mayiko, misika komanso zatsogolo la mayiko. mukudziwa kale kuti Channel Africa idzakhala komweko kukubweretserani zokambirana zamkatinkati komanso akatswiri kusanthula zomwe zili zofunikira. msonkhano wa G20 kuyambira pa 22 pakana pa 23 mwezi wa Novembala monga momwe ukuchitikira. Khalani cheru ku Channel Africa, kalilole wa Africa.
Celebrate life every day. Tune in to Channel Africa. Stay connected through a new website and free mobile app.
Channel Africa.
Your Africa, your voice, your channel. Channel Africa.
The African perspective.
Mama wayishilo mina ngahlulekile Thatha intombi emakhaya ngaya naye eGoli wafika walahleka Inhliziyo yami dabukile Ipulwe nguwe sandwa samayo niphile Some things are meant to be, but some things are not meant to be. You realize that you've made the biggest mistake of your life. Need to be told that we're not getting younger. Someday we'll meet again, and this time we can love each other better. Ask me some song and simple to my baby. Not someone I'm the one you know. But now I'm torn. No baba wayashilo mina ngahlulekile Ungathembi ilitshe kunothemba umuntu ngoba umuntu uzokujikela ngalawo Ngisho ngamniki imoto unike uthando unike konke Inhliziyo yayo neliseki uzafuna izwe lonke I'm meant to be, but some things are not meant to be. You realize that you've made the biggest mistake of your life. Need to be told that we're not getting younger. We'll meet again, and this time we can love each other better. Ask you some sort and simple to my baby. Not somebody. I'm the one, you know me, I'm the one. I got to know I'm Tony. My Wednesday put to my baby. Got someone. I'm the one, you know me, I'm the one.
Okay, today is different. Today is different because we're kickstarting the section with an exclusive. And when I say exclusive, I'm saying that you are the very, very first person to hear this particular song anywhere in the world.
Pretty cool.
This is Mr. Lou with Awucabange, and that's who we're hanging out with today in the music section of our Friday show here on the Move. Lunga Khululu, better known as as Mr. Lou is an award-winning music producer, a DJ, a percussionist, an entrepreneur. Grew up in Zwide, Port Elizabeth, that's the Eastern Cape province here in South Africa, where he formed the group Point 5 with some heavy hitters. These are the names that you might have heard and you probably know. The likes of Heavy K, MSK, DJ T, and Cubase. That was back in 2012 when the group released an album titled First Point. It's many years later today, and we are spotlighting his own journey, his music, and of course giving you new music, new exclusive music just for the Channel Africa family. Mr. Lou, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. What an intro.
well.
What an intro.
It's all your accolades, bro.
Yeah, sometimes I get I get shocked myself because I don't get to sit and read what I've done, I've done. Yeah.
So here it is today, and we just want to be a part of your journey. We sort of want to tap into what made Lunga Khululu Mr. Lou, and all the processes and the journeys that he's been going through. So take us back to Port Elizabeth. Even before 2012, when you started out, how did you start engaging with music in general?
Sure. So, I grew up in a musical inclined background. My father was one of the best musicians.
You love your dad, bro. You love
Crazy.
your dad. You're like, my dad was the best musician.
Crazy. If you know the likes of Stompy Mavi, all of these people, they are the product of my dad.
Wow.
So I think I started playing drums at the age of 2.
Sure.
Yeah, I was 2 years when I started feeling.
Who's your dad? Tell us a little bit about him. Who's your dad?
Most people that would know him, it's like Eastern Cape people.
Yeah.
But Atwell Zamobundu Khululu.
Okay.
He was known as Bratabla.
Okay.
But he's late now. So I think I took it from him. And then I grew up with it. When I was still in, I think, high school.
Sure.
I got into hip hop.
Nice.
I loved hip hop at that time because
the West Side versus the East Side.
The era of the music. I mean, we were just coming from the Kwaito era, and so the hip hop was getting in the industry. So that was one of my first loves of music. And then fast forward that, I think in my hood I was actually the youngest radio DJ at that particular time because I was working with the Luckies and Mhlobo and then
yes.
And I was still in high school when I was doing that.
Wow.
So fast forward, I met with the guys, your T, Cubase, Heavy K, MSK. Met with them. We were just young boys who loved playing games. I'm still a gamer even today.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
So we're just young boys who loved playing games, but then we discovered that actually all of us, we have a skill that we could come together and form something incredible. And we were the youngest. And fortunately enough, we became the youngest and the biggest crew in the entire Eastern Cape.
Wow.
Nice. Even including Western Cape.
Yeah.
And that time there was no how the world is today with the internet and stuff. So we do music. We didn't even understand how it got to Cape Town, how it got there, but everyone in South Africa was playing
through
our
USBs.
music.
Hey, give me your USB. Let me put it in my computer.
Discs.
I was about to say that.
People used to pirate a lot of discs that time.
Yeah.
So moving forward, so we did crazy jams like Lento,
Yes.
Hey Professor. We did so many other songs, and then I did songs for Shims as well. Worked with Black Coffee. Worked with a lot of people, and then the group split
as groups do.
What caused the split?
It's a long story. That one alone needs a whole
it's
podcast.
Always a long story.
It's a very long story. But I would say we had to grow and part ways and understand one another. Our intentions were different. you know. So just to cut everything short, but then moving forward, yes, serious, it was crazy. It was a crazy fight. I would say one of the members got very selfish, and then so we ended up having to forfeit the whole entire group thing because it was not working now that the other member is pulling on the other side.
There's a lot of tension.
There's a lot of stuff that was happening, and remember we had music and then some people still felt like, I'm entitled to this, and the other one I'm entitled to that. So, and that time we were still trying to figure out how the whole industry works because we are young. Then after the group collapsed, it was myself and MSK, one of the group's member.
Yes.
So we didn't even actually form a group because I moved into Johannesburg. But when I moved in, I took him with. And then so we started staying together in one place. As we were staying together, we would end up having to produce a same song together because we already, you wake up in the same studio
and you guys have the same repertoire.
And then the people formed Mr. Lou and MSK.
Nice.
We didn't think we were gonna be a duo.
Okay.
And then we became a duo for a couple of years, but then also I felt like it was about time for me to grow.
Yes.
As an independent artist, because having to be on groups and having to be a duo, I had to make music that fits the group and the duo. I was not making music that I feel like I wanted to make.
Right.
Now
So
getting your own
hence-
identity was actually
Yes.
important. Let's take a bit of a break and we'll get more of the story. We hang out with Mr. Lou. You can hear the beautiful music in the background. He crafts this music by himself. He's the singer, he's the producer, he's the maker of the music.
multi-talented.
Yes, give us some of the talent, man.
You can't keep it all to yourself. Tune in and see our live stream. You can hang out with Mr. Lou with us on Facebook and on YouTube.
The Midnight Snack, 12 to 3 a.m.
Muranziwa wa mina. Muranziwa means my love in Xitsonga. So if you're listening to this, just know that you are my love. Yes. You and I are an item. We're dating. We are together. So I love you, baby. Why are you blushing? Why are you blushing? Like, haven't you heard somebody confessing their love to you? I mean, you gotta get used to it now, because I'm gonna tell you this every day, that I love you. I can tell you, there's so many people who are never told they are loved. I come to the studio every Monday, 12 to 3, because I've got an appointment with you. I take you serious. Forget about the other person, right? Moranziwa.
The Midnight Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Chanduko Ligege. Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa on the move.
Hey, we hang out with the award-winning Mr. Lou. He's in studio with us right here on Channel Africa. Join us on our live streams and you'll check out the action in studio. And, finding your own identity, Mr. Lou, like you were going into that part of the conversation, is a thing that you always crave for, even if you work with a collective. At some point, you'll find yourself wanting to create something that defines you.
100.
What was that you were searching for?
So basically, my background when it comes to music is more jazzy.
Yeah.
I would listen to the likes of Kaifas,
Mhm.
Brahu, and all those people.
That was inspired by your dad, wasn't it?
Yes, of course. The OJs.
Yes.
Even in my family, like
Beautiful.
all of us, like, this is my brother like sitting here.
Yes.
Okay.
Same mother, same father.
Sure.
All our middle names were named under the OJs.
Ah.
All of us.
So what's your middle name?
Walter.
Hey.
For Walter Williams.
Okay.
So my music was inspired mostly by that.
Okay.
So as you know, jazz gave birth to most of the music.
Of course.
Mhm.
And then hip hop. I don't even know how I got into hip hop, man. Maybe it's because of the people that I was hanging with.
Yeah, in high school, it was just the thing. It was
but
trending.
then jazz and hip hop, that mixture of music.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about the current hip hop. I'm talking about the olden days hip hop.
Mhm.
So that stuff, that's my kind of inspiration when it comes to music.
Mhm.
But then I happened to bounce into house, and I loved house as well.
Yes.
It brought fame, it brought this and that and this. But
Mhm.
my main thing was to create music that is going to, like have an impact for years, other than having to do what's trending today.
So like a melting pot of all these influences.
Exactly. Hence the change in music. If you're listening to Awucabange, the current song we played,
yes,
it's totally different from what people know.
It's got like an Afro soul kind of vibe.
Yeah. So that's the Kaifas vibes in my head, whereby I feel like one of these days I want to be performing on festivals. I don't want to do clubs no more.
Yeah. And have you always been a singer? Because you've got a unique voice. I mean, the people wouldn't tell people that you were singing in that song. It was your voice.
Even the days of Point 5, I used to sing in some of the songs. But
how did you discover your voice?
It's a family thing. Everyone can sing at home. Everyone can sing at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get him to do the PVs for me.
Okay. Your brother who's with us, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like that's how I got into the space of the change and the inspiration of the sound.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit, because you're coming with us today with like a brand new offering, and I'm sure that throughout, like you said, you've found your own identity. You wanted to find your own ways that could significantly express what you were feeling and how you connected with music. You're working with quite a number of people, different people, and I'm sure throughout your career you've made friendships and collaborations with a lot of artists. So what is it about the offering that you have now that you want people to know about Mr. Lou, or where he is in his life?
So number one, it's the writing skill that I have.
Yeah,
I'm a storyteller. I don't just just write because I can write. And most of the songs I write, they're really personal. Like it's not a thing of I woke up today feeling like I want to write about like a certain concept in my head. It's always about the situation that I'm going into at that particular moment.
So it's very personal.
It's very personal. Then I project that into music, but in my own way. So what I'm trying to say is that my offering to the people is like I just want an ear. Like I want them to listen to what I have to give them, and just to hear a different side, a full-on musician, because house music limits you. There's other things to feel like a musician I would want to do, like even like the counting of beats.
Yes.
In jazz you can do 1-3.
Yes.
And then
1-3
and but then in house most of the times it's just a 4 to the floor thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that I just want them to see how intricate I can be when it comes to the music.
Wonderful.
And we are listening to the music in the background, as you can hear, is also one of your latest offerings with Ami Faku and Mr. Vintage.
That's my brother who's sitting here with us.
Oh, okay. Mr. Vintage.
He actually produced the song.
Okay, actually, come on through and say hi to us really quickly. We can't just have this imaginary figure in the background. With that. How are you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you guys doing?
How are you doing? Good.
Your brother's like, no, I can't do this interview without you.
Yeah.
It's a family thing. It's a family. We're very supportive too.
Yeah. And let's speak a little bit about that support, right? Because usually when we speak to artists, about artists, we don't really think about the kind of energy that it takes and the people that it takes to hold each other's hands when you're doing that. And that's what we don't see about people, right? It's a quite personal thing. What does that mean to you to have like you guys as brothers side by side taking on this journey together?
If I could tackle that, I would say basically growing up, we were literally taught to support each other from the get-go. There's like small amount of difference when it comes to age difference between me and him. So obviously he's older than me, but sometimes I feel as if
you're older sometimes.
There's those situations.
You are the soulful one.
For instance, the song that you're listening to right now with Ami Faku, I met Ami Faku before he did.
Yeah.
So I brought her in, we did that song, it was beautiful and it still is.
Yes.
So we always have the same vision, basically, that we have to support each other and go forward because we're doing this for the family at the end of the day.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic. Okay, we're about to wrap up the conversation. Okay, tell us a little bit about your latest offering and when people can expect it. Is it out there? And what are you planning for the next few months? It's December season now.
So right now I'm doing a lot of collaborations with different people. We have like people like your Bodhisattva, the Spirit Chaser.
Oh, I love
guys.
Bodhisattva. He's fantastic.
Yeah, even the Spirit Chaser.
Oh, wow.
There's something else.
Those are big
Other
names.
than These Tears remix that we did with Holy Ray.
Okay.
There's so much, man. Like I just can't think of them straight on top of the head
Okay,
because
then
I'm working with a lot of people at the very same time.
We are going to be following your journey. So give us your socials then so we can see all of this stuff that you're up to there.
At Mr. Lou Drum Freak on everything. At
Okay.
Mr. Lou Drum Freak.
At Mr. Lou Drum Freak. And of course, since Mr. V is here with us, you can give us your socials as well.
That's at Vintage Frames GP.
Vintage Frames GP. Love that. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. It's a pleasure to have you. It was great just finding out your story and hanging out today.
Thank you so much.
Very much, guys.
Well, there you go. Mr. Lou and Mr. V joining us today in studio. Really great one. Beautiful music as well.
Yeah, we have to play that one a little bit later. That's
We
playing
do.
in the background. But for now, let's tackle our latest sports update. It's 11:30 Central African time.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good morning from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So South Africa as well as Qatar played out to a tense 1-1 draw that leaves Amajimbos in a strong position while keeping the host nation hopes of progressing alive at the Under-17 FIFA World Cup tournament. So Qatar struck early through Yazan Mohammed, who fired a low shot into the bottom corner to give the home side a dream start. But South Africa responded swiftly with Emil Witboy rising to the occasion and then hitting home a superb equaliser. Now, Witboy was outstanding throughout that match, anchoring Amajimbo's midfield with composure as well as drive. Now, clear-cut chances were also far and few in between in the second half, and both sides were ultimately forced then to settle for a share of the spoils in that encounter. Now, Turkish prosecutors have confirmed that they have ordered the detention of 21 people, including 17 referees as well as the chairman of an unnamed Super League club as part of the investigation into alleged betting on soccer matches. So far, 18 of the 21 suspects have been detained. That's according to state-owned Anadolu news agency. Now, the move also comes a week after the Turkish Football Federation suspended 149 referees and assistant referees after an investigation found the officials working in the country's professional leagues were betting on professional football matches. Now, the Istanbul Chief Prosecutor's Office said the detention of the 17 referees was on the grounds of abuse of duty as well as manipulating match results. A Super League club president, a former club owner, as well as a former association president were also ordered detained over alleged match fixing scandal. Onto this now. South Africa's Proteas, that is Quinton de Kock, says he has no regrets about retiring from international cricket 2 years ago, revealing that the break gave him much needed hunger for the game. De Kock rolled back the years with an unbeaten 123 in the second one-day international against Pakistan to lead the team to an 8-wicket win at the Iqbal Stadium in Faisalabad. Now, playing in his only first ODI series since his return to the Proteas fold in September, the wicketkeeper says he had lost the required desire after more than a decade in the green and gold.
To be fair, no. I feel like coming back now, the 2 years I've had a break, I've come back and I found a newfound energy that I think I lost over time. Playing so much international cricket all the time. I mean, I don't know how long I played. I think it was close to like 12, 13 years. I was just lucky enough that I retired actually early enough so I can still make a comeback. So I don't regret it. I'm very happy to be back. I want to be back.
At the same time, de Kock also gave credit to teenage sensation Luandi Pretorius for the way he played, sharing an opening stand of 81 before the latter was dismissed for 46 runs. He says he had all he had to do was to get him on strike and let the partnership grow.
I think, obviously, young Luandre made it very easy because he was playing really well. And so the easy thing was just to try and get him back on strike. Because he seemed to be in the ball really well, So that was just what I thought when I was out there. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, now obviously with the dew, batting obviously got a little bit easier as more and more moisture came into the air. So.
And finally, Nick Kyrgios says he has a new lease on life on court after being amazed at sudden improvement and his long-term knee injury. And the Australian hinted at a Grand Slam comeback at Melbourne Park if he makes it through a series of exhibition matches. The 2022 Wimbledon finalist has dropped to 652 in the world after playing only 6 matches in 3 years due to a succession of wrist as well as knee injuries, and would need a wild card from organisers to compete at the Australian Open in January. Now, the 30-year-old said that earlier in the year that he was at that point where he did not have any hope of being able to play at the Australian Open again, or getting back at least to a point where he felt comfortable enough with his body to compete. Kyrgios will play exhibition matches against Ben Shelton at the Atlanta Cup on the 6th of December, and then Tommy Paul at Madison Square Gardens about 2 days later, before facing off with Arina Sabalenka in a battle of the sexes in a match to be played on the 28th of December, just after Christmas in Dubai. That's a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Call us as well on +27 11714 4459. There'll be more sporting updates in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené à dire ça? Est-ce que vous avez observé un certain nombre d'événements dans la vie? Est-ce que c'était par rapport à une expérience? Est-ce que vous avez rencontré des choses qui vous ont dit il faut de la patience, comme ça les choses vont venir au bon moment et le bon Dieu pourra peut-être me visiter?
Oui, c'était justement un conseil que le Seigneur m'a fait inspirer pour donner à son peuple, parce qu'il y a la plupart des gens, pendant que Dieu bénit les autres, ils pensent que Dieu les a oubliés, et pendant que Dieu ouvre pour les autres, ils pensent que peut-être Dieu n'a pas pu écouter leurs prières. Alors, ce n'est pas le cas. Alors, Dieu bénit tout un chacun de nous avec son temps. Donc, le temps de Dieu est toujours le meilleur dans la vie de tout un chacun de nous.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h, temps universel.
Thank you so much. Let's move on right now with Chanduko Likeke. It's time for our business news.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Benjamin. Good morning. The mining ministers of Botswana and Angola are set to meet for talks in Botswana's capital, Gaborone, as the two southern African countries seek to take control of Anglo-American Diamond Unit, De Beers. Botswana, which currently owns 15% of De Beers and contributes 70% of its annual rough diamond production, considers the company a strategic national asset. This is despite a slump in global diamond prices that has hurt its economy. Angola initially sought a minority stake in De Beers, but later submitted a bid for a majority stake, setting up a potential bidding war with its neighbor. The National Prosecuting Authority in South Africa, the NPA, has formally charged former Public Enterprises Minister Malusi Gigaba. His charges relate to alleged procurement irregularities at rail company Transnet. In a statement posted on social media, Gigaba's office says he received a notice from the NPA to appear in the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court today on charges of corruption. Samkele Maseko reports.
These charges essentially relate to his tenure at Public Enterprises. We do also know that since he has been charged, he will appear at the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. He will ultimately apply for bail, and he will, after applying for bail, assume that he will send a letter to the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Fikile Mbalula, recusing himself and stepping aside from all responsibilities as an elected National Executive Committee member of the African National Congress.
South African fashion retailer TFG has reported a 21.3% decrease in half-year earnings as trading conditions remain challenging across Africa, the UK and Australia. The sales were supported mainly by the acquisition of British chain White Stuff. The TFG says headline earnings per share fell to 292.6 cents and in the 6 months ended September 30 compared to prior year. Operating profit declined 9.9% to $132.85 million, reflecting persistent economic pressures and higher promotional intensity across winter months. The Malawian government has announced an immediate ban on maize exports in response to the country's worsening food crisis. The move aimed at stabilizing local supply and curbing price hikes comes as over 4 million people face hunger following prolonged dry spells. Authorities say the measure is also intended to protect the livelihoods of millions who rely on maize as their staple food. Chief economist at the Dawn Consultancy Group, Chief Mango, gave this analysis.
I think the ban is quite called for in the event that now there's shortage of food in the country. So I think to stabilize the prices of maize in Malawi, obviously the ban comes into effect. So I think there has been a culture of those that are doing maize trading in Malawi, actually holding back in terms of maize on the market, trying to actually push the market, the prices of maize higher. So the government is now taking a reactive approach in the manner whereby now, since they'll be importing maize from countries such as Zambia.
The Chinese Consul General in South Africa, Pan King Jiang, has praised the growing ties between China and South Africa, describing the relationship as entering a new era of all-round strategic cooperation. Speaking at a seminar titled China's Development, Global Opportunities in Johannesburg, Pan said that under the leadership of Presidents Cyril Ramaphosa and Xi Jinping, the two nations have achieved a remarkable progress, deepening mutually beneficial collaboration across various sectors. Channel Africa's reporter Michael Mbewe filed this report.
The relationship between South Africa and China has grown into a model of strategic partnership rooted in mutual respect, shared development goals, and strong political trust. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties in 1998, the two countries have steadily deepened cooperation across trade, infrastructure, education, and technology. Under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa and President Xi Jinping, this partnership has evolved into an all-round strategic cooperative relationship in the new era.
Now let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,439 naira, Botswana 13.33. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 24, Zambia 22 kwacha 29. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil, 5 real 35 in Russia, 81 rubles 29, India 88 rupees 62, in China 71 12, South Africa 17 rand 37 cents. Commodities, gold is at $4,004, platinum at $1,548 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $63.95 a barrel. That is all from me. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chandruko Ligege.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Siyabangena manje. Vito Jabulani Nkolele iMagoda. Jabulani is a young man from Giyani in Limpopo in South Africa. Very easy guy, taking things easy. To know me is to know that I love what I do, which I'm crazy about it. So when you hear me on radio, expect the best. Expect great music. Expect great content. Expect 180 minutes of nothing but fun. You'll find me on the morning reset, 3 to 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. Siyabangena baba. Ay. Mbuleke.
Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
All right, 11:43 Central Africa time. It's been a good day indeed. It's a very, very nice conversation that we had there with Mr. Lou. But I also like, nothing makes me happier when I see artists who have things and people who ground them in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's so fascinating to see, because we think of the life of a musician as fast and furious and, out there and all these people and fame and fortune.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing, that connectiveness, it gives me, it's just so cute. It's just so cute and makes me feel, all fuzzy inside. So I really enjoyed that part, just really getting to know someone beyond what they offer to us.
Yeah, it's fantastic that, musicians are not just voices. They're not just making beats. They're also humans, and they have relations as well. So it was great hanging out with Mr. Lou. I really want us to play that song with Ami Faku a little bit later on. But right now, we're going to be throwing forward to Lulu Gabu, and she's going to tell us what we can expect from the Africa update. Hey, Lulu, how's it going?
Hello, good morning. Good morning. It's a happy Friday, isn't it?
Yes.
The sun is coming out.
Slowly but surely.
Only around
Not
the
really sure about
SABC,
that.
only around Auckland Park, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
All right, a lot coming up in Africa Update today. We were focusing on the fact that Africa may be standing at a turning point in its fight against malaria, in terms of the rollout of the vaccines and growing political commitment. Governments are more committed to fighting this pandemic. It is one of the highest killers on the continent, and hopefully with the work that is being done on the ground, a lot is going to change.
Sure.
And then also we're speaking to our reporter Michael Mbewe, who was at a briefing, the National Press Club in collaboration with the Sudanese Embassy, holding a media briefing on just an update with regards to developments on what's happening on the ground in Sudan. And, the ambassador addressed a lot of journalists just to give an update. We've spoken to humanitarians in that country, and the stories that are coming out from there are quite horrific, and touching on just the mental state of aid workers and what they see and what they get to hear of on the ground when they are in such situations. So all that and more coming up on Africa Update today.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, Lulu. That's the Africa Update coming up from midday Central African time to 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not over for us as yet, though. So let's go into some music. Let's jam.
It's all about swag.
Kamnandi akuthuleki uye andimyeki chandile ukulwa kuncedi ndonwabile lethemba uyazi ndathanda bayede akuthuleki bayede akuthuleki bayede namhlanje ndiyavuma usisiphiwo ndakutshela ukhanyisela inkanyezi ebomini ndakutshela ilangazela impilo yami yonke nawe wena ujambisa inhliziyo yami wenza ingqondo yami ibe dizzy awubayede akuthuleki ngithi bayede ngithi bayede Angithuleki isithando sami bayede. Namhlanje iyavuma usisiphiwo ndakutshela ukhanyisela inkanyezi ebomini ndakutshela ilangazela langazela 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 wena baby ilangazela langazela 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 wena baby.
Ooh, what a beautiful
Oh,
song.
man. Yeah,
It's really
I
nice,
heard it
isn't
in the background earlier
Yeah.
on while we were talking to Mr. Lou. I'm like, this is a very sweet song.
It is. Mr. Lou featuring Amifaku and Mr. V Ntage, who is his brother. He was also here in the studio with us quite briefly chatting about their relationship as siblings too. Beautiful song, that one, titled Lange Zelela. And of course, that was to wrap up the beautiful conversation we had with Mr. Lou today.
Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Be inspired. Stay informed. Channel Africa, the beauty of life. Now available anytime, anywhere with our new app. Start your day right with Channel Africa Breakfast.
That smells delicious.
Live, 5 days a week.
I don't think you listen. You listen. I don't think you listen. For me to come out, it must mean I'm a teacher. It must mean I'm not the same. It must mean I'm on your case. For me to come out, it means that I'm not the teacher. I want to show you my world. Give me one break, I need faith. Faith to believe you, faith to receive you. Give me something I'm lacking. I don't need nothing. You are my everything. Only me and you. Only me
Oh, Thames, me and you, we definitely have been hanging out with Thames today, and all the great music that we've been spotlighting right here from the African continent. But we are about to say goodbye for the day. It's been a beautiful Friday. Let's take a look, in fact, at the On The Move poll for the day. We were asking you about fashion today, and it's quite an exciting one. The question we had for you is, what makes a brand truly, authentically African to you? And it seems like we're all on the same note. You said bold identity, and that's on 100%. So thank you so much to you who've participated on today's On The Move poll, and those who've enjoyed the conversations of the day, from art to fashion and all the way to music.
All right, we're getting out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good weekend and enjoy yourself. It's goodbye. And what are you up to this weekend, buddy?
This weekend I am going to be relaxing with family, but there is also a little bit of a sore thing that's happening. One of my friends lost someone really close to them, so I'll be supporting them this weekend.
Yeah, let's support our friends this weekend. I'll also be lazing and enjoying the cold indoors because the weather in Joburg is not the fun.
But it might just change tomorrow, and then tomorrow it's like really hot. So don't rely too heavily on the weather. It might change.
I've looked. It doesn't look good, Bali. Yeah, it doesn't look good. This Joburg weather. No, man. Okay, we're saying goodbye to you. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa. Don't go anywhere. Lulu Gabu is coming up with the Africa Update.
Have a great weekend, Africa.
Hashtag On The Move and connect with us.
Yo